Hey guys, something really funny happened today. I was like doing a bunch of like catch up work from the week just around the house and stuff, and I was like cleaning out my closet, and there was like this like nagging theme that I was like pondering on all day about karma, and like I was cleaning out my closet, right? And I have to show you because it's so funny. This box, I I used to keep like unmentionable things in it, and it was like kind of in the back of my closet. But look what it says on the box: Karma. That's the name of this type of shoe, and I didn't even know that. But like I used to keep things in here that obviously like I wanted hidden, right, in my closet. And that caught my eye, and I was like, "You've got to be kidding me!" How funny is that? But it was like in the back of my closet, right? And I've like, I practice what I preach with you guys. That's like a true leader, right? Like, not only practicing what you believe and help spread in the world, but also like a follower of those that you're explaining your messages to, right? Like I learned the most stuff about life from my kids, I swear. It's just kind of an interesting dynamic. Like a true leader is a great follower too, right? So anyways, I try to practice what the messages that I get from my spirit guides and pass along to you in these videos. But so I've been working on like, the past like 8-9 months, like clearing out the clutter in my life, decluttering my mind and like my physical environment. But somehow this box just got overlooked, and it was like in the back of my closet, and literally on it says karma. It's just hilarious to me, like, and it just goes, it's so in line with like my last reading that I did about these things coming back up again, like you thought they were dealt with, right? But here they are. They're so sneaky. They're just like the ego. Like you work on diminishing the ego and stuff, and it sneaks back in, and then you get to a point to where like, wow, like my ego's like strong again. It's never really gone, guys. It's the same with karma or like karmic situations. It's the same. Okay, they're gonna find ways to like sneak back in, just like this freaking box literally says karma on it, of stuff that I used to keep like, unmentionables in. So it's really funny. It's really funny. But it is in line with the energy right now. And so I wanted to do a reading on karma, particularly the fated life versus the destined life. I was thinking about this a lot today, and especially after I found like finding that box in my closet was like the missing piece to this reading. And a lot of things started to click after I found that, and I was like, oh yeah, it was making sense more and more, this message. So the fated life is what decisions we have made up until now in our life that have us to this point. That's our fate, right? The destined life is the direction that we want to head, and making the choices to, like, consciously making the choices to follow our life path. Fate is more like in line with a karmic life path, because there can be good and bad karma, okay? But usually when I refer to karmic situations, it's like more about the fated life, like not being aware of the decisions that you're making, or not being aware of the cycles that you're in, and that bringing us to where we are in life now. That's fate. Destiny is more like being aware of those things and working on eliminating them as much as possible, Because as I was saying, we can't ever fully get rid of our ego. We can't ever fully get rid of karma in our life. It's both good and bad, guys. And the ego is also good and bad. It plays certain roles in our life, but it's like how we allow it to do it. It's not letting it control us. It's the other way around. Okay. But yeah, the destined life is more like being aware of those things and consciously making choices to have a better outcome and follow your true life path. Because if you listen closely to the messages from your subconscious and in your life, it will guide you. You may not have the answer of where you're gonna be in 5 weeks, 5 months, 5 years, okay? The destination is not known, but it's taking those baby steps based on listening to your intuition and being aware of the choices that you're making in your life, to take baby steps to pursue your life path if you're not sure what that is at this point. Okay? There's no, like, the future, we can predict, like, people who are intuitive can predict the future. However, people still have free will. Okay? Like, I can do readings that can predict the future, but it can change if someone makes a different choice. That's destiny. Okay? That's why I try to avoid doing those type of readings, because sometimes knowing too much about the future can actually alter it in a way that is not intended. Being aware of that, and then being aware of an outcome, and then having someone make a choice one way or another to have either avoid or have that outcome can alter that. It's like those bifurcations of timelines. And that's also in line with the fated life versus the destined life. Okay? So I wanted to do a reading today on the type of karmic situations that my collective is dealing with, and ways that we can consciously steer away from the negative karmic cycles, and more pursue like our destined life path. Okay? So I'll pull some oracle cards first, and I think I'm gonna use spirit animal. Fated life versus destined life. Spirit, koala spirit. Spirit has a plan. Spirit has a plan. Even if you're not aware, things are happening behind the scenes, guys. Okay. This is so perfect. I love this card. I love that it came out first. And I'll go more in depth in these two, guys. Okay. White Raven Spirit, trust in the magic, yeah. Nightingale Spirit, love is all around. We get 2 more. Canary Spirit, sing your own song, yeah. There's a lot of birds in this one. That's interesting. Snake Spirit, time to heal, yeah. Okay. All right. And then pig spirit. I love this. First of all, we start with koala spirit, and then we have white raven, nightingale, and canary, all birds. Then we have snake on the other side. And then overall energy is pig spirit when this pig has wings. Use your mind wisely. This is like so symbolic of my intro. Right here, this one card explains my whole intro, and I'll go over it a little more, guys. Okay. So spirit, which I like to call the divine, helped me to find my life path, you guys, which is doing this, which is spreading the messages to you guys from the divine. I'm intuitive. I practice mediumship unintentionally. Okay, it just kind of fell into my lap. I mean, it was there the whole time, looking back after I had my awakening, but it was up to me to accept it or not. Okay. That was Spirit's plan for me all along. That was my destiny. I chose that based on the things that were happening in my life. The life that I was living before was my fated life. It was my choices, not listening to the message that I was getting, not following my intuition, feeding my attachments and cycles and codependencies unknowingly, guys. Unknowingly. Okay, I wasn't aware. And I'm just using this as an example to relate the message to you. But this reading is for you guys. I'm just relating it in a way that's understandable, like an example. Okay. Spirit had a plan for me the whole time. Okay, but it was up to me once I became aware of it to accept it or not. To choose the fated life or the destined life. And I chose the destined life because the fated life was empty at that point once I became aware. Okay, so it's the same kind of concept. All right, that's what this card represents. Spirit has a plan. Okay. White Raven Spirit, trust in the magic. Yeah. Because if you don't trust your own intuition, and again, this leads back to fear-based thoughts versus intuition. It's a really fine line sometimes. It's difficult to tease out the two, but you have to trust, guys, that your intuition will lead you. It's like your soul's whispers. It's like your subconscious whispers is your best guidance. Okay. And again, all these birds came out. So at the heart of the reading is nightingale spirit. Love is all around. That's what this is all about. That's what these messages are from the divine are. All lead back to this. All lead back to love. It literally is the most important thing in the world. Okay. And yeah, that's at the heart of the reading, guys. It's a big message right there. Okay. And it doesn't need to be romantically, it can be, but it's just about, love in your life for yourself and in the relationships around you. Okay. You know what's interesting too, guys? So we have on the end, I know I'm skipping a card, but I do this, I get sidetracked sometimes. The first card on the table was Koala Spirit. Spirit has a plan. The last card was Snake Spirit. Time to heal. When you think of a snake, it's like in the grass. You can't see it. And sometimes it'll bite you. And sometimes it's poisonous. This is so representative for karmic cycles or karmic situations in our life. They're very sneaky. And they just like that box in my closet today, it snuck back in there, and it didn't go back in there, but it was just, I had cleared out everything. I purged my environment several months ago, and I found that today, and it just snuck back in. This is exactly representative of my intro, guys. The first card on the table and the last card on the table. Full circle from my intro. Okay? They're confirming, like, yes, this is the message. This is the message. Okay? But this can also be about people in your life that are there to teach you lessons. Okay? Or situations. Or experiences. It's sneaky, guys. It's sneaky. Okay? And it does require healing from that. Either things happened in the past or happening currently. Either way, it needs to be healed. Because, again, at the heart of the reading, it's all about love. Okay? That's the Divine's main mission, to spread this message. Through all these readings that I do, they all come back down to this. This is the core purpose of their messages through me. Okay? And how do we start that is by having unconditional love for ourselves. How do we do that? By trusting the Divine, and that things are happening behind the scenes that you can't see. Trusting in the magic, okay? Healing from those sneaky situations that sometimes we can't see, all right? And then Canary Spirits, sing your own song. Your authentic self, guys. Shine bright. Your authentic self. This message is perfect. Perfect. And especially with this overall energy, pig spirit, one pig's fly, right? This pig has golden wings. And look at all the wings in this. Like, these three cards are all birds, okay? And then we start with spirit and we have a snake here. And then this pig has wings. This is an amazing, amazing message, you guys. I love this deck, the Spirit Animal Oracle. It's so neat. Use your mind wisely. That's about being aware of the cycles and the karmic situations and relationships and the patterns and habits and traits. Making a choice. Wow, guys. Pretty amazing, huh? Let me use my situations get to see what kind of karmic cycles you guys are in right now. So at the bottom is cricket, silence, non-action. Kind of waiting game, waiting to see. Maybe you're aware of the cycles in your life, but there's no action as of yet, okay? When I cut right now, done, completion, lessons learned. So maybe it's becoming, obvious to you what needs to be worked on, but it's about trusting the process, guys. I do feel like there's some, I was thinking about this earlier today too, like there's some apprehension. This was the energy I was picking up today. Was about the karmic situations and cycles and the fated life versus the destined life. And I was picking up on apprehension, like the cycles have been shown to us, but they're really sneaky about coming back in. And it's like, when you notice that it's there, what are you going to do? There's like some apprehension about next steps to take because of lack of trusting. I was thinking about that earlier today when I was working out. But let me see if I can get some more details about the type of situations that you guys are in that are more from the fated life than the destined life, okay? Love. This one always comes back up. All right, so a lot of it has to do with relationships and love for self. History in the past. What happened? Healing from the past. Wow, guys. Not trusting in your intuition. Okay, I'll go over these. Okay, there's a lot coming out. Family. These two keep coming back up. All right. Unconditional love. Wow. Wow, you guys. Wow. Holy shit. Yeah. Okay. So, overall energy at the bottom of the deck. Negotiating, bargaining, begging. So, this totally goes in line with my last reading. Like, in terms of your boundaries, guys. Or also, okay, so overall energy at the bottom of the deck can be taken two ways. One is when you have a set of healthy boundaries and people push and you give a little and they push and you give a little until you're like, how did I end up here again? It was so sneaky. It just came back in, right? And now I'm back in this spot. And this is people doing this, bargaining, begging, not respecting your healthy boundaries, but not wanting to detach either. It's like bargaining, begging, okay? Also, this can be from us with the plan, right? With our destined life and not trusting. So we try to bargain with the divine, all right? And manipulate that new start energy. Like, well, I've already released this, so maybe I can still hang on to this and I can still get my new beginning this way. Like, that's just an example, guys. It's going to be a little different for everyone. But like, I noticed that I was using, just an example, alcohol to cope with my feelings, but I'm not going to drink 4 times a week. I'm only going to drink twice a week now. Bargaining and begging. Okay? It doesn't work that way, guys. Unfortunately. It's manipulating the energy. Okay? And you're still attached. So this is about the fated life versus the destined life. Okay? Use your mind wisely to make those choices. It's about your intention. It honestly, it doesn't matter if you drink 2 times a week or 3 times a week. It's about your intention behind it. Are you using it as a coping mechanism? Are you using it to forget your problems? Or are you using it to celebrate life with family and friends? There's a difference, guys. It's your intention. And that can be applied to any of those traits. Okay? It's the intention behind it. Okay? So just remember that when you're negotiating, okay, with fated life versus destined life. And then also, don't be like a pushover when it comes to your healthy boundaries, guys. Don't let people do this to you. Like, oh, well, it's hard when you go out and I have to watch the 3 kids at home, but, and then the other person is like, well, I'll only go out 3 times a week instead of 5. It's like, guys, be firm with your healthy boundaries, what you need to thrive. Don't let people negotiate your boundaries with you if they're healthy for a reason. There's no negotiating that. Okay? Use your discernment with that, okay? Because it's your life and it's going to be a little bit different for everyone, but those are just examples. But don't be flimsy with your healthy boundaries, okay? There is a give and take to relationships, but there becomes a point where you're like, this is taking too much, and be firm about that, guys. That's what this is saying. Don't let people negotiate with you on those things, okay? Because that's when you can soar. I mean, there's so many wings represented with these oracle cards. 4 out of 6 all have these wings. Okay, if you want to fly, you can't have your wings clipped. I used that analogy in one of my last readings too. Okay, that inhibits growth. That's clipping your wings. This is perfect. The fated life versus the destined life. This is about the choices that we make from our fated life. And all of these are our destined life, flying, free. No attachments, no clipped wings. Okay? And I don't mean not being in a relationship. I mean not negotiating, not settling for less than, what you need to thrive. Okay? It's a choice. It's a choice. Okay? So the first card that came out is, I asked about karmic situations in the collective. Love. Yeah. Oftentimes this definition is misinterpreted. Because look what came out first. This is so perfect, you guys. Alright, so Spirit has a plan, and Snake Spirit, time to heal. First and last card. And I was talking about love versus conditional love versus unconditional love. First and last card. In one of my last readings, okay? This is a perfect example. Oftentimes, we think that what we're experiencing is this, but it's actually conditional. Unconditional is true, genuine love. Okay? There's a difference, guys. There's a difference. All right? And how perfect is that? This row also goes full circle on that. The next card that came out was history. Past happened. Well, okay, let me go back to this for a second. So I was talking about the divine's messages, okay? And how their mission is, it all comes back to this, right? Because this is represented a lot in this reading. Love is in the heart of the reading for the oracle cards. I was talking about Spirit's messages through, psychic mediums, who pass the messages of the divine along. They're about love. This is their mission. Look at them confirming this. Yes. How I also take this, since I asked what in my collective kind of karmic situations are we in, a lot of our relationships that we think are based on this are not, because it's not unconditional. And that doesn't mean being okay, being treated like shit, guys. That's not unconditional love. It's unconditional love for self and being able to maintain those healthy boundaries, not negotiating with those, okay? Because when you love yourself unconditionally, you won't allow that. And the other person, if they love you unconditionally, they wouldn't want that either. This is the message, guys. This is the message today, all right? This is all about love right now. For self and with others. Why is it so hard to have this, okay? Or understand these concepts? It's a big concept, guys. It took me 3 months of painting every day. That's all I could do when I was awakening, was paint. Because it was the only thing that I could focus my attention on physically that would be able to help me process all the downloads I was getting that were so immense at that time. It took me 3 months isolating myself, being in hermit mode, to understand what I was experiencing, what was happening, and what it all meant. And it was about this, guys. Okay, it's a big concept. And why is it so confusing? Because of things that we've been through in the past. Because of things that we've been through in the past. Why is it so hard for us to trust our own intuition and that Spirit has the best intention for us? And to listen to our subconscious. Past experiences. Fear. Okay. That's really heavy. This reading is, I didn't intend it to be, but it's really heavy. At the heart of the reading, family, blood ties, inner circle. So yeah, fated life versus destined life. What's interesting about this, guys, these two cards have been coming out a lot, right? In my last few readings. Blood ties does not mean they're your soul family. It does not mean they have the same core values as you. It does not mean that they love you unconditionally. It does not mean that they will not try to push or negotiate your healthy boundaries for their own interests. All right? That has nothing to do with it. Okay? This card is a double-edged sword, because there are a lot of people that we are related to that we let our healthy boundaries slide to appease them simply because they're blood relatives. However, this card also means love is all around you. The people that are in your inner circle, that are your soul family, they'll be there for you no matter what. Unconditional. Okay? There's two meanings here. And this is at the heart of the reading. A lot of karmic situations in our life, this is telling me, are with blood relatives or people in our inner circle that we have a hard time because we consider them family. It's difficult. Those are some of the most difficult ties or people to be firm with, guys. But again, people that love you unconditionally would never want to clip your wings. Okay. Heavy stuff. Or just like, God, I have so much history with this person. I've spent so much time with them. We've been together. We've been through this and this. A long time ago, they did this for me, and I owe them for 10 years doing small tasks for them whenever they asked. No, guys. No. Okay? If someone went out of their way to do something nice for you in the past, and you've spent the last 5 years trying to make it up for them by being there for their beck and call, you don't have to. That's excess, guys. They went out of their way to do that on their behalf. Thank them, be appreciative. It doesn't mean you owe your life to them. Your happiness. Okay? Just the same as, if you're staying in a relationship or have relationships with people that just because of how much time you've known them or all the things you've been through, it's for the wrong reasons, if those are the only reasons. Okay? Trust your intuition. Trust the messages, the signs that you're receiving, both from the whispers of your subconscious and also from the universe. Okay? The divine has your best interest in mind. And there are things happening behind the scenes that you can't see. You have to trust. And trust yourself. To be able to acknowledge what thoughts are from fear, from things that we've experienced in the past, versus intuition. And using those lessons to actually have meaningful relationships in our life, built from a solid foundation of unconditional love with our soul family, not just people who are blood relatives or who we have ties to. Okay. And I love this. So with this one, Canary Spirit, Sing Your Own Song, I was talking about being your authentic self, right? Underneath, realization, awareness, finding out, coming to light. This is incredible. This is like what so many of my readings are about getting back to your authentic self. It was so interesting because I went to visit my brother Gianni this morning, and I love hanging out with him and catching up because he's very intelligent and he's like thought-provoking. And he was saying, is it still hard to do your videos? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, have you got down the YouTube character yet? And I'm like, yeah, getting back to my authentic self, it's hard. It's something you constantly have to check yourself with. It's like, it was just funny because how he asked, and I was like, what's funny is it's not being like showy or a character. It's like being yourself, that is the challenge sometimes, guys. Okay, like I really have to center myself before these videos to make sure I'm not coming from a place of like, you know, a false place of ego. Okay. And also to tap into your guys' energy a little bit better, I have to clear mine. So I really have to center myself and overcoming my fear of speaking. Okay. So it's about this, guys. It's about this, getting back to your authentic self, being aware of your core and what is not in alignment with that, right? It'll be much easier to make decisions to lead the destined life rather than the fated life. And it's sneaky. That's why I do it every time before I record. So it doesn't sneak back in. It's super sneaky. Okay? Just like the ego, just like these codependent attachments, just like that freaking karma box in my closet. How symbolic is that? That's insane, you guys. It's so symbolic. Buried in the back of my closet, this box that says karma. Sneaking back up. Alright? Look at this message today, guys. It's incredible. And what's it all for? Unconditional love for self. It'll spread in the world. This is the first card on the table. Okay, Spirit has a plan. Last card, unconditional love. That was my intro. That's the messages that they want me to pass to you and how to do that. And a lot of it has to do with our relationships, things we've been through in the past, with our family, blood relatives, people who are in our inner circle, becoming aware of those things, trusting your inner self, your subconscious whispers, trusting Spirit that they want the best for you. Okay, the divine wants the best for you from a place of love, authenticity, right? Healing, clearing out those hidden snakes that keep popping up in the grass when you thought they were gone. Just like that freaking karma box in the back of my closet. Incredible. And then once you have the knowledge, it'll be very easy to see and to be able to spread your wings and fly. Not let anyone clip your wings. Not let anyone negotiate your healthy boundaries with you. That's for you to decide, guys, what makes you thrive. Right? And also not negotiating the energy to manipulate it based on intentions that are not from a solid place, guys. You can't have a solid new beginning if your intentions are not in the right place. So again, like just using alcohol as an example, it's not really about, I'm only gonna drink twice a week or whatever. It's your intention behind why you drink. Is it to celebrate life with friends and family? Okay? Or is it, from a place of love? Or are you trying to avoid healing? What's your intention behind that activity, guys? That codependency, that attachment. All right. I wanted to get some affirmator cards just because of this feeling of uncertainty and kind of lack of movement. It's really clear to me that there's awareness in the collective about the cycles, the unhealthy attachments, etc., etc. But I feel like it's just kind of a place of being like apprehensive about next steps to take, not trusting the process, not trusting your intuition. Okay, so I wanted to do some affirmators to help with that. And I made these on my own, guys, because I couldn't really find any that I liked. So I allow breakdowns to become breakthroughs. Wow, how perfect is that? You use this energy, like I think I was discussing that in my last reading about the new moon in Leo with Mars being in Aries and all this conflict and how we're gonna feel like giving up, but this is the time to push through. That's when breakthroughs happen, guys. That's when breakthroughs happen. Don't allow it to be a breakdown. Have it be a breakthrough. Are you kidding me right now? How in line is that with this reading? Wow. All right, let me get 2 more. I'm writing this story. Yep. Trust, guys. Trust. Trust the process. Trust your intuition and trust that the divine has your best interest. This is the message through and through. Okay, let me get one more. I will not settle. Are you fucking kidding me? I will not settle. Negotiator. Bargaining. Begging. I will not settle. These affirmators are so fire right now, guys. Are you kidding me? Wow. That's amazing. And then look at overall energy at the bottom of my affirmator deck. Being in spiritual alignment allows drama to fall away. You guys, you can't make this stuff up. Wow. That's insane. This reading is legit, guys. Okay, so I hope that helps with understanding the differences between the fated life versus the destined life, and just keep pushing, guys. Don't give up. Allow breakdowns to become breakthroughs. Okay. All right. And yeah, karma's sneaky. Those karmic cycles and karmic situations, they're freaking sneaky. Just like that shoebox in my closet. But don't give up, guys. Don't settle. Okay, don't manipulate the energy. You'll make that new story. Just listen to your intuition, listen to the messages that you're getting. And trust the process. Okay? All right, you guys. I hope you have a good evening, and I'll talk to you next time.